80 years, Hackman Lumber has been the trusted name for home improvement. Building a new deck? Start with the deck experts at Hackman Lumber, ready with the best advice. And if you need help from a pro, they can connect you with trusted local contractors. Hackman Lumber is home to one of the largest inventories of decking materials and accessories in Missouri, and Hackman Lumber will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials guaranteed. Finish off that new deck with endless railing options, balusters, and LED deck lighting to bring your backyard to life. While you're upgrading your outdoor space, check out their selection of grills and grilling accessories. Hackman is also now an authorized steel dealer, and check out their expanded paint department too with custom color matching. Make sure you follow Hackman Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to catch weekly deals, specials, and project inspiration all season long. More information at hackmanstl.com. Hackman Lumber, St. Peters, Troy, and Pacific, Missouri.
From Springfield, Illinois to O'Fallon, Missouri, and everywhere in between, Glenn Brothers Garage Doors are out there servicing garages and installing brand new garage doors on so many houses because it is that season for renovation. You want your house to shine, and Glenn Brothers Garage has so many different varieties of garage doors. Tim Glenn in the garage door business for over 30 years. So if your garage door is giving you trouble, if you're looking for a facelift for your garage, Glenn Brothers Garage. Local family-owned business, 618-900-4239. GlennBrothers.com. To All Girls Final Survivor Chat with Afton, Kasey, Courtney. Mostly Afton and Kasey will chat, but we do have a special guest today for All Girls Final.
We sure do.
In the form of one, Nikki Glaser, who joined us on the Courtney Show earlier this week. And she is back into Survivor for the first time in many, many years.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yes.
Now, she commented on all Survivor, everything, prior to last night's episode. Here we go.
My friend Sean is a big Survivor head, and he was like, it's Survivor 50, and I was hearing all of this, and I needed a new show, and I was like, I'll jump back into Survivor. That is the most confusing gameplay ever. And especially when we started with so many people this time. Now it's like whittled down, so I know the players. And here's the thing about Survivor that's interesting to me this time around is when I started watching it, it was all about, there were bugs, and they had to eat weird things, and they're starving, and they're constantly
totally
talking
different.
about... And the elements, and they can't sleep, and there's critters at night. There is none of that happening now. Survivor, they figured that out. Everyone that's on Survivor now has been on the show before. They're bringing back all the All-Stars. And so they are used to that part. They know how to build a fire. They know they now provide them with water. They didn't used to do that. And so it's like, it's not a part of the gameplay at all that they're starving. I mean, they touch on it sometimes of like, you win Applebee's. And so everyone's like, yes, we get to eat. But it's all about the mind games.
Yes.
And the gameplay and the Billie Eilish boomerang idol. There's all these weird idols that they find in the woods.
That's new.
I mean, it's so hilarious. But I'm really into it, and I cannot wait.
Okay, well, then I have to ask, not knowing all of these
And
players.
see, her and Kasey go back and forth because they have their favorites.
Sure.
Yeah, who do you like? Because you're not coming into it really with a bunch of...
I was really sad to see Dee go. I really liked her. She was just so pretty. Again, like looking at someone for like that show, it's like you're not getting a lot of glam on that show. And she was just gorgeous. And I just like kind of liked looking at her face and her lips. I was just always like, is there filler in there? Are those just natural? And I loved Coach until last week. He's spiraling, but that's kind of fun to watch because there are people losing their minds, and it is because of the starvation. It is because of the lack of sleep. They don't touch on that as much, but that is, people are actually going nuts. I mean, I like Riz God. I like as much as I don't.
Like you're letting her down.
That guy is he's gonna win.
He better not.
And Cirie, I never understood why she was so good. I'm like, why is this? And everyone was like, her gameplay's amazing. Her people skills. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, now I'm starting to see it. That's a very interesting part of the game. Is
She's
like
the best.
You don't have to be the most athletic. You don't have to be the most like good at puzzles and survival. It really is like if you just have people skills and can work the people. Who are your favorites?
I mean, Cirie's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I love her. I like Rick Devens.
Oh my God, I love Devins too. And I love Christian.
I know.
And those glassy blue eyes.
I know.
I really like him a lot. He's just great at narrating what's going on. And like, he's always like sitting on some rock posing like he's taking a senior portrait.
Yes.
They're always like, next to a tree holding a branch. And I just.
They're doing a peekaboo around the side.
And everyone's, and then I love the guy, what's his name? He's the guy that's all about honor and he won't lie. Joe?
Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works out for you.
Yep.
Because you got to lie on Survivor.
It's not gonna work.
got to lie.
We're going to be running all of this.
Jonathan is so hot.
He is the
And
most
he got
massive
so
person.
mad at D, and I was wanting them to hook up. What's up on Survivor? I need some romance.
They do. There's a.
And I like
There's usually
Ozzy.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, we're mostly on the same
Okay,
page.
guys.
Well, listen,
we'll talk about
But
Rizzo later.
Riz is crazy. I mean, he's a scoundrel.
She's not a fan.
I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm just like I'm new to him, as most of us are.
All right, Kasey.
I love that you talked so much about it with her. And I love her takes. First off, another Riz God fan. But she made some really solid points that I've been thinking about personally lately.
Okay.
Specifically how the concept of the game has really shifted from surviving.
Yes.
Now it's so much about the gameplay that I think of this all the time. They're really just playing Big Brother outside.
You're so right.
You know, I think back about older seasons and how nasty they looked and how dirty their fingernails were and how they had bug bites covering their face. I know
Yes.
now that they're allowed to use sunscreen and bug spray, which makes me feel better as a human being.
Yes.
But she's
The suffering.
Yeah, she's so right. A lot of it really just comes down to the gameplay and that's it.
Yeah, you're totally right. Wow, that was kind of a glass shatter moment for me.
Uh-huh.
That was Big Brother outside.
I know. And you're a Big
Man.
Brother fan.
I do like Big Brother. Do
Me
you?
too. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think a lot of people have gone back in because of the 50 of it all. And last night, apparently, last night was an incredible episode.
I have to say, I feel extremely bummed because this never happens to me. But yesterday I was feeling under the weather and I was dozing in and out of the entire episode. I know for a fact I missed the best part and I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it
Well,
today.
I'm glad. I almost texted you last night, but I felt like that's
you can.
how
I'm always awake.
That's
but
how hyped I was after that episode. But I was like, I don't feel like that's fair to the podcast, and I don't know what your timing is for when you watch. And I wasn't gonna like come in hot with like, here's what just happened, but just like an OMG.
Oh my God.
Because it was really something. I
Okay.
think it was the best tribal we've had all season.
okay, I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch because at one point I opened my eyes and I was like, no, I definitely just missed the best part of this episode. So I'm excited to hear your takes and like help me pick up the pieces.
Yep.
And I have some thoughts when we get to who
Got
was sent
voted.
home.
Yeah.
But why don't you set up what you liked about last night's episode?
Yeah, I thought I was really happy with a lot of things in the episode that I haven't been happy with this season. I actually liked the twist this time. It was they had to compete in pairs. They didn't know. They got a note that said that they had to pick a partner, but there's an odd number of people, so one person was not going to have a partner. And sometimes that means, at least in seasons past, like you are you're not going to get a reward. You're not like, it was a bad thing to not get picked, but we didn't know what this was going to be. So there were a couple of people who really wanted to not get a partner, and you didn't know what the challenge was going to be. So you were teaming up with somebody based on no information. And ultimately, Sari, she was one of the people who didn't want to have a partner. There were a couple others, and so they drew shots in the dark, and she won. So she didn't have a partner, so she didn't know what that was going to entail. So then they go and they find out that they're competing in pairs for immunity, which is great, but they're also going to be voted out in a pair. So whoever you're with, you're going out.
Courtney's shocked.
I know.
So that means she was safe.
She was safe.
Sari was safe.
And so that's what I read this morning was Sari finally a twist that worked out for her.
Yes.
Because apparently
Right.
she has gone down because of twists.
Yes, there was one season, and this was when I was really mad at Survivor, where Sari was, Sari, who is incredible, voted out by default because there were so many advantages and hidden idols that everyone had something except for her. So she went out by default, and it was infuriating as a fan. So this was a twist that worked in her favor.
Yeah, I will say whenever they decided to draw rocks or draw dice, whatever they use, I was a little disappointed with Sari because the way she said, I just want to make it easier on them. I know it's going to be like a schoolyard pick and I'm
Yes.
probably not going to get picked and I don't want them to feel bad for, she's like, I don't want to be embarrassed and I don't want them to feel bad for not picking me. And I was like, oh my God, Sari, like it is time to give up the like self-deprecating stuff because everyone wants to work with you.
Yes.
So that kind of made me disappointed. But then when she went on her journey and it all worked out in her favor, I thought, wow, maybe like this is why Cerie's Cerie, because whenever she's herself, it works out well.
Yes. Yeah, so I liked the twist. I liked the pairs. I thought the challenge was good. They're kind of doing this, we're only getting one challenge, but they're kind of splitting it into two parts, so it's like you kind of get two challenges. It's fine, whatever. The reward still was pretty lame. But then they sent Cerie to exile. And when she got there, I thought the way that they did the exile thing was a little more fair than what they've done with you have to risk your vote thing in all of the past seasons. So she gets there, and the beach is covered with coconuts, like spread out.
Like 2,000 coconuts.
2,000 coconuts.
I saw somebody saying they just want to see the setup for this.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would love
Like,
to
let's
see
see
that
the
too.
behind-the-scenes setup for this
Yes.
coconut deal.
Yeah.
So she could either just stay on exile and not worry about it.
Or
but then
find, like, an immunity or something.
she had to find a coconut that had a picture of a phoenix on it. And if she found that, she didn't have to stay at exile. She could go back to camp and she could vote. So she didn't lose a vote. She wasn't risking a vote. It was just like, you're either at exile, which has happened for many, many seasons. You miss out on everything because you're at exile. Or you find this and you get to go back and you get to vote.
and be a part of it and kind of the behind the scenes, which you don't want to lose that.
She didn't want to.
And so, did she have a timer on the coconut finding Phoenix?
She had a timer. Yeah. And she did it.
And did they ever tell us? I want to know what the length of that time actually
I don't
is.
think they told us.
Yeah, is it 20 minutes? It's a lot of coconuts.
Did you think she was going to get it or no?
No, when she started crying, I thought she's going to self-sabotage and really melt down here and her time's going to be wasted. And then when she did find it, it was a big like, oh.
Did you cry?
No, because I was too tired.
There were no tears last night because
No.
of the exhaustion.
So she gets to go back.
So
now,
she gets to go
okay,
back.
so if she went in on finding the coconut and didn't find it in the time, what happens?
She just had to stay at exile,
okay.
so she'd missed the vote. But it wasn't like the whole you lose your vote thing. It's just that
She would stay there overnight and she'd go back in the morning and be like, who got
who got-
voted
yeah,
up?
mhm. But she really wanted to find it so she could be part of it.
And it was a huge deal that she did make it back to camp in order to be a part of the vote because she swayed the entire decision.
The way that she just turned everybody, as soon as she gets back on the beach, Ozzy's like, here's what we're thinking. And she's like, no.
Okay, so what were they thinking?
They were originally thinking they were going to go for Devins and Aubrey. They were a pair, which I actually thought, I love Devins and I don't want him to go, but I thought that was a solid vote out plan.
I agree.
And then Cerie's like, no, we can get, they keep calling certain people floaters or like in
Middle
the
people.
middle people.
I've
So-
never heard this phrase, the middle people, used so much. It took me a while to understand who they were talking about.
I think it's because we've never had it to an individual game with this many people left in so many years. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why there is kind of a middle. So she's like, no, we need to take this chance to go for Chrissy and Coach, not Devins and Aubrey.
And this really surprised me because I'm always of the mindset that if you have the opportunity to take out your biggest threats, I don't really know why you wouldn't do that. And in my opinion, Devins, even like Rizzo or even like Ozzy, like I think about these people as the biggest threats on the island. I'm like, what the hell is Chrissy ever going to win, right?
Right.
Or
And same
do
with
we really
Coach.
care about Coach that much? Like, we'll get him next time. But Cerie came back and completely dictated the entire outcome of the night in minutes. They were acting like they didn't know how to play the game without her.
Yes, Ozzy was like, I'm so glad you're back. Like,
He said,
I'm so glad.
"Oh, I would have voted Devins out and looked like a big old dummy. What?
Without you, Cerie.
Yeah.
But that would have been a good vote.
It would have been a good
think
vote.
so.
Yeah, it would have been a totally understandable vote. But she is just really running the show.
Did Coach and Chrissy have any idea that they were going to go?
I don't know. Do you think they did?
I really don't think so. I think in the back of your mind, you always think so, that it could be you. But judging by Chrissy's face, whenever she realized that it was probably going to be them when they were sitting at Tribal and Jeff had gotten like 5 votes in their favor.
Yeah.
And she realized, oh no, it's probably us. The way that she turned her head and looked at Tiff with like a mean parent, I'm so disappointed in you look. And Tiff just stood so strong. I knew. Like, she had no idea. And she stomped out of Tribal Council. Don't get me wrong. I love a messy exit.
Oh, I
Same.
do too. I want
Same.
more.
Give me all
Let's
the mess.
burn the hut down.
Yes.
Yeah, she
That's
was
what I
upset.
say.
So I don't think she knew.
Yeah. So It really turned. Oh, I was going to mention too, in Cerie's exile time when she was having her meltdown, I just wrote, I just love Cerie so much. And they showed the Cerie's most iconic clip, which is when they vote out Eric. They convince him to give up his immunity idol, and he does, and they turn around and vote him right out. And she like spearheaded that whole thing, and that was many, many seasons ago. But they showed that clip
because they wanted to show how good she is,
capable of.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. So then we get to Tribal, and I just really didn't know what was going to happen. But did you get to see what happened with Devins, or did you fall asleep?
So I was asleep. But I think in my heart I know what happened. But I want you to walk through it.
Okay, so I think Devins knows he's on the chopping block, and he's really only got one move left, and it's that fake idol that he and Christian put together and hid at Tribal. So he's like, this is all I got, so I'm going to go for it. So they get to Tribal, they're all talking, blah, 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 and he goes, well, actually I do have something up my sleeve. I've got this clue, and I'm going to go get my idol right now, and walks up to the fire pit in the middle, grabs that one that Christian hid like day 2 or something.
A long time ago.
And is like, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get this, and now I finally got it, and I'm going to be playing this for me and Aubrey tonight. And everybody's just like, what?
But Christian knows.
Well, yeah, but Christian's on his side.
Okay, all right.
They're like besties.
Yeah, he's not going to out him.
So he does this before the vote.
Yes.
So then,
he does it. Maybe
which is always a risky move, because if I was on that tribe and you pulled that before the vote, I'd be like, that thing is fake.
Yeah, so everybody starts spiraling. So there's a lot of
I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, so then we go, you remember last week we talked about live tribal and how Dee kind of tried to start a live tribal, but it didn't really happen. There wasn't a lot of whispering. This was a fully live one where
they're like talking to each other.
They're panicking because clearly Devins and Aubrey were the vote. And so they just all start talking to each other like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And there were some people that were like, it's fake. It's fake. And or maybe it's real, but he still has to play it. And he might not play it. So maybe we still vote for him. And of course it was fake.
Yeah.
But everybody bought it for the most part. A couple people threw votes still on Devins and Aubrey. I think Jonathan still voted for them. And somebody threw a vote on, I don't remember who else. Maybe it was just those.
So do they have to play it after the votes are all in? That's when they say they're playing it?
That's when Jeff asks. So after all the votes are in, Jeff will say, okay, if anybody has an idol or advantage they want to play, now's the time to do so. And then you take your idol up to him and he says, this is not an immunity idol, or this is.
Got it.
And so that's how you usually know, okay, someone's been hanging on to this. And it usually works in your favor to wait until the 11th hour to play it. So then you can see all these losers that voted for you.
So they can't change.
Right.
So you know who to go after.
Right.
And essentially then you decide who goes home, because if your vote's the only one that's left, or your alliance helps you vote out whoever you want, then then you take control.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because whoever has the next most votes goes.
So you think it changed everyone's vote?
Yes, I think it really did.
So you don't think Coach would have gone home? Coach and Chrissy?
I don't. I think Cerie turned it. No, because she wanted Coach and Chrissy. She did. But I think other people were going for them.
I think Cerie really helped solidify something without fully knowing if it was going to happen. Because whenever I'm sure Devins made that move, I think if I was sitting there, I'd be like, well, my next best thing is this. And Cerie said to do so. So I guess that's just what we're going to do now.
Yeah.
I think that she made a good campaign.
I think Chrissy and Coach were coming for them. Jonathan obviously was coming for them. Stephanie, I think, was coming for them. Joe. So there were a decent amount of people who hadn't been swayed by Cerie who were coming for Devins and Aubrey. So, yeah, everybody scrambles, things change, and what I thought was interesting is somebody, I don't remember who it was, said, well, let me see it. And he was like, are you crazy? I'm not showing this to you.
Right.
I thought that was an odd move, because I thought when they made that idol, they took a note from a previous idol find, but I guess it would have said Billie Eilish Boomerang idol on it.
Yeah, it might have said so.
And they took the materials from it, and that's what they used. But maybe not. I need to go back and watch that episode where they did that, because I thought they made something that was really legit to where they could even show it. But he wouldn't show it to anybody. And then right before Jeff reads the votes and he asks if anybody wants to play it, Aubrey's like, he's going to save us. This is great. Because she doesn't know it's fake.
Right.
And he goes, I actually can't play it till the next tribal.
Yes. Okay. So I saw that and I thought that was a dumb thing to say.
I thought so too.
I thought that was stupid because I'm like, no, now I know that's not real. That's never once happened.
Yeah, now he's going to have a target.
Yeah. Correct.
Don't you think?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. After making that move and then making an Aubrey move as lying bad about it, if you're going to lie, you got to lie well.
Yeah. You need to think about every angle before. He knew he was going to do that when he went to tribal. How did you not think about every scenario?
Oh, I actually can't play it till next week. No, Rick, now I know something's up. Have we had any hidden immunity idols that were not boomerang idols? I don't think so. So, yeah, I think he couldn't show anybody because it probably did say that.
I think he probably should have just played it and then blamed it on somebody else duping him.
If I was Rick, I would have played it and then turned around and said, suckers. Like, bet you still didn't vote for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Which he's done that before.
Yeah.
But also, he could have played it off like giving it to Jeff, and Jeff goes, this is not a hidden immunity idol.
He's like, oh, man.
And then he's like, oh, somebody tricked me. Because then they'd think, well, who did that? Who's playing that move? Who made a fake idol?
Who's the genius here?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he played well at all.
No, I think it was a great initial move, and it changed the course of the vote.
Yeah.
But it was not, he didn't think it all the way through.
It was a 1 week saver.
1 week saver. I totally agree. But I just loved, Dee was on the jury loving every minute of this.
I heard she came in like a goddess, too.
Oh, my gosh. She looked gorgeous. And she loved every minute of this tribal.
The jury's already starting?
Yeah.
Dee is the first member. Yeah.
They just sit
Which
and
is
observe.
early, right? That seems really early.
It does, because there's so many people left.
Yes.
And something I found out because of Savannah is that even though, like, Savannah was maybe the second person voted off, she still had to stay at Ponderosa for the duration of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she was there for 3 weeks.
Probably so
wow.
no one could see her out.
Yeah.
So they would, if you see her, where's she going to go?
Totally. But yeah, so that must be a crazy dynamic to be at Ponderosa and Dee's the only one that leaves to go to tribal. Or Dee comes back and she's like, okay, here's what happened.
Yep.
But Dee did say on socials last week when she was voted out, she was like, this has been a great opportunity. Just wait till you see all my tribal looks coming for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's what else she has to look forward to. So what was her facial expression during everything?
She was like a super fan. She was eating up every moment of it. She was giddy. She was like making little comments like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is the greatest thing ever. And Rizzo geeked out big too. He was just fanboying out. And Jeff calls him out. He goes, did we just have a fanboy moment between Rizzo and Devins? Because he's just like, man, Devins, you've found 6 of these things in your time on Survivor, and now another one. Like, man, this is amazing. He just like loses it over this play, which was pretty cute, even if it is Rizzo. So yeah, it was very exciting, and we didn't know which way it was going to go and what was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, one more good thing about Rizzo at Tribal. I really didn't enjoy the ass kissing for Coach.
No.
Why did he say that? So Coach gets voted out and he takes a moment to say, hey guys, thanks so much for playing the game with me. Like, I really wish the best, which was nice, especially after Chrissy previously stomped out. And as Coach is going to get his torch snuffed, Rizzo's like, love you, Coach, changed my life, my hero. I didn't like that.
I don't know. It felt weird too. I don't know if that's jury management
or genuine, but he didn't seem like he liked him that much.
Nope. We didn't get much of that. We see that with Sari and Ozzy and Colby, but we didn't really see that with Coach. So that was odd. It felt like jury management to me.
Mm-hmm.
I did see somebody wrote, I saw everybody thrilled Coach is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
On social media. But somebody wrote a haiku for tonight's episode. I do not like Coach. The dragon has now been slayed. Get him off my screen.
That is a great haiku. Yeah, Coach
that's from Larry Evans.
He was off his rocker, man. I don't know where the haikus and he was singing, and they had like, in the post edit, like put music behind it, and we're playing it, and I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, I think it was the correct time for Coach to leave.
I agree.
He'd spiraled just enough.
Yep.
And then what are we down to now? So it was a double elimination, which I think is a thrill.
Oh yeah,
I love those little that twist.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
are we down to 12?
I think that was my math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 12. It's going to get. Was there any fighting at behind the scenes before the tribal council?
It didn't really seem like it.
No, it didn't seem like there was a lot of drama in confrontation.
The big thing was people are still holding on to Beeves. There's a lot of There's a lot of beef that people have not put behind them. So,
but it's so quick. It's not like
it
didn't just happen 2 days ago.
But so they're not fighting, but they're still like, I don't like that person because of this thing that just happened. So like Joe is still holding on to the blow up that he and Devins had at camp a couple days in. He doesn't like Devins. Devins doesn't like Joe. So I think that's going to come to a head. And Ozzy was still mad about the day one challenge for supplies when Coach got the key and he didn't. And so he was glad to see Coach go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like Joe and Tiff teaming up.
I do too.
As an alliance. I think that they're fun. And I think it only goes to show consistency because who was that girl on his original season?
What's her name? Eva?
Eva, yeah. How as soon as he bonds personally with somebody, he's ride or die for them. I mean, he would have given up his whole game for this girl, Eva, in his first season. So I think to be Tiff and really feel confident that he's on your side is comforting after losing your only ally.
I was glad to see more Tiff. I was glad to see kind of a different arc for Tiff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we haven't seen much of her yet this season, and she's been kind of on the downside of the numbers. So I feel like maybe she's having a resurgence, and she's a great player.
I think so too.
Who do you think has the strongest alliance right now?
It's got to be Cirie.
Cirie with Ozzy and Rizzo, yeah.
And everyone thinks they're in an alliance with Cirie.
Everyone thinks that she is their number one, which is a great position to be in because you're so insulated.
I mean, it doesn't seem like any shots are coming her way.
Really?
Yes.
I have her written down as my winner of the week.
Me too.
Because I just don't think anybody else has a better social setup.
How is she still there?
I know.
How is she not? It doesn't matter how much you love her. How is she not taking out the first opportunity she's available for?
How good she is.
I have not even heard one person say, "Oh, what about Cirie?" or "When should we take out Cirie?" It's not even on the table.
No, nobody's talking about it. I mean, I'm sure that maybe in the back of their minds they're like, well, we can get to that because she doesn't win challenges, so we'll get to it. Mm-hmm. But if they let her get close to a final, man, I would just love to see her win the whole thing.
Did you have any teary moments last night?
I think the closest I got to tears was probably Cirie's moment on Exile because she was really down and she's like, this is really hard and I don't believe in myself. And they showed, in addition to the clip where they voted out Eric, they showed this clip from when she came back one of the other times and she couldn't get across a balance beam in the water. And so the challenge was over, I think. And she was like, no. And her team lost because she couldn't get across it. And she's like, no, I'm doing this. And so she finally makes it across and everybody there is cheering for her and she's crying. It was a very sweet moment when it happened. So I was glad to see them show that too. But she really just doesn't always believe in herself because there's so much of it that's physical and she's not the strongest physical player. But everything else she does makes up for that to make her the great icon that she is.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better.
So next week, what are we looking forward to next week? Does it any craziness?
I made a note in here that just says next episode ? Like, why did I write that? I don't know what I meant by that, except I remember seeing that Steph is mad. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she's mad because she was aligned with Coach and Chrissy.
Yeah.
And so now they're both gone. And so I think she maybe is starting to realize that she's back on the bottom. That's all I really remember from scenes from our next episode.
Yeah. It really didn't catch my attention, the previews for next week. But I'm glad you brought that up because I, being chronically online, am always kind of catching the little clips and things that past players and people who voted out are releasing because, they can't talk about their 50 experience until they've been voted out. Now, like, Dee's making videos and doing interviews and giving more insight. And I learned because of Camilla, when we talked about the Zoom Alliance, I went back and did my research. And the main group that made up the Zoom Alliance was Chrissy, Stephanie, Colby, and Jonathan, because it did kind of confuse me how Jonathan put so much of his trust into Coach and Chrissy whenever he decided to vote with them, I think 2 weeks ago, instead of voting with Tiff and
Camilla.
Camilla.
Yeah, that was odd.
or Tiff and Dee at the time. I don't know. I remember
Tiff and Dee.
just thinking it was weird that Jonathan would put so much trust into them when I wouldn't if I was him, if I was a new era player. But it makes sense that he and Chrissy already had something going on, and Stephanie is in that alliance too. We don't have to worry about Colby because he's already out. But then that maybe, I think maybe that's why they've got some extra eyes on them. And then also involved in the Zoom Alliance was Savannah, Charlie, and Mike White, who were all voted out within the first 5 weeks.
Wow.
So I definitely think people on the island
know about it.
They know what's up, and we might not be seeing conversations of like, we got to get Mike White out because he was on that Zoom Alliance. They're probably not showing us that because they don't want us to know, but it's all adding up.
Oh,
yeah, it really does.
Interesting.
And Coach was part of it, you said.
I don't know. I haven't seen Coach's name, but Coach is an old era player who's really involved with Colby and Chrissy and Stephanie.
Yeah.
So I think naturally he gets brought into it all.
And a lot of people were talking about how much they liked the twist last night compared to the Blood Moon twist.
Totally.
This was a way better twist.
They said the way this twist just exposed how bad the Blood Moon twist was, they cooked with this twist.
Yeah.
Better than that, making the big deal of the Blood Moon thing.
Yeah, and I don't remember if Nikki said this on the air. Probably not because we didn't play it. But she and I were talking more Survivor, and she said
That's when I left the studio to get some drinks.
She said that she had heard that so many fans were bothered by the Zach Brown thing so much that they have gone back to re-edit.
I was just going to bring that up.
Future things.
Yep.
Which I think is a great move.
I do too. I saw so much negativity around the Zach Brown thing, and I think I watch a lot of Kelly Wentworth. She was the person that I saw say, I guarantee moving forward, they are re-editing some of the stuff before it airs because they're seeing everyone's reaction to the season so far.
I think that's smart.
You would think they would know their audience better.
Yes.
I know. They're going
They've
so
known them
rogue.
so long. Sorry. They've known you guys so... They've known you guys so long.
Yeah.
They know the complaints that they get.
You would think they'd be smarter than this, but sometimes I think they just kind of get in their own
They get into the
way.
showbiz of it all.
Yes. And they're like, oh, this is so cool. It's almost like they were trying to prove that celebrities like Survivor to add to the cool factor.
Yeah,
when
I
people
think
who
you're
love
right.
Survivor don't care about that.
Right.
They just
Totally
love Survivor.
agree. Like I said, week 1, it feels like Survivor's gone Hollywood and not in a good way.
Yeah.
They've just gone rogue with the advantages and the twists. And sometimes, like last night, it makes for a really interesting episode. But we've seen a lot so far in this season, in the first 8 episodes, that it doesn't always leave the best taste in your mouth.
Agreed.
Yeah, there is something about when you're associated with something, you want everybody to know that these cool people like your show.
Right. That's what, when Nikki was here, I said, it's officially cool because Nikki Glaser
I know,
Yeah.
right?
She's the coolest person there is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas Kasey kept it under wraps, never spoke about it.
Because people like Courtney like to make fun of you
I didn't
for
make
it.
fun of you.
I
my
think
gosh.
you might have, though.
I did not.
Do you know how she discovered that I watched Survivor? She was complaining about the Paramount Plus app, just casually in a conversation off air before I was full time on the show. And I was like, yes, it's so terrible. It does this and does that. And she's like, well, what are you watching on there? And I was like, I'm rewatching Survivor. And she was like, what? And it became a whole thing. So that's why we hid.
I can also really agree about the Paramount Plus app. I would like to go in and reconfigure some things.
It's terrible.
So bad.
No one working there
buffers.
uses the app, and it's obvious.
Well, it's awful. And because I watch a few shows on that, Survivor not being one, but you just quit watching because you can't deal with
so
the
frustrating.
stopping all the time of it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, what an episode, girls.
It really was.
So
good.
And little Nikki Glaser appearance. So good to get. Who do you think is going to? Who's your prediction? We should start making predictions of who is getting voted off the next week.
Voted off next week.
Yep.
I think
If it's only one, but you can get. We don't know if it's going to be 2, 1, nothing. You just have to name one person.
I think it's going to be Devon's. I think that move at Tribal just sharpened the target on his back because he is known for finding idols and advantages. And no matter how he plays it off when he gets back to camp, the target's there.
Yeah, unless he really can find one in the next week, unless he's got something else under his sleeve, I think it'll be Devon's. And again, it makes me kind of mad that Aubrey had to play her idol last week. Because
She was mad too.
Is there any Boomerang idols left in play?
Rizzo still has his, and Ozzy still has his.
And they're just so unlikely to use them anytime soon because they don't need to.
They feel safe.
Yeah.
And we were talking with Nikki about, this Boomerang Idol thing. Billie Eilish is definitely showing up there, right? Or else why would they do it?
I can't fit. And maybe I should be looking at Billie's socials, but I haven't seen literally anything from her. And I wonder if maybe she's feeling a little embarrassed about it because it's turned into such a negative connotation.
Because people hate it so much. She probably is laying low. But
yeah, she's probably like,
I would have thought if they were going to have her on there, then they would have already done it.
And something I really thought that they were going to get into whenever we found the first Billie Eilish idol, I thought, who will the next one be? It'll be a John Hamm idol. It'll be whoever. What do you mean?
Just been her.
No, she's agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm like, why are there 12 Billie Eilish idols on this island?
Right.
There's got to be more celebrities who want to get involved.
You're exactly right. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think she's going to be on the show.
Yeah, she's definitely at the live finale.
She's at
if
the finale.
Anything.
She's at the finale for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm writing down your picks. You're both saying Devon's. Next week is gone.
And which makes me sad because I do love him.
And if you both are correct, I will watch the next episode.
That's 2 episodes from now.
Still.
Why don't you just get in on it? Is it too late for you?
No, it's not too late. I can watch an episode out of the blue.
Yeah. So you don't like us that much?
No, that wasn't it. I was just in the middle of something else last night. I really was. So I couldn't.
All
but
right.
I will, Afton and Kasey both picked Devon's as the next one to go home and be the next member of the tribal council.
Mm-hmm. Jury.
That's it. That's what I meant.
That's right.
The jury. All right, great all-girls final today. We will talk to you again next week to talk Survivor.